Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and one of the returning mechanics in Commander Legends is Partner. It's a big deal to have it come back, and it's a huge cornerstone of the set. So to talk about the existence of it and preview a new card today, I thought I would bring in one of my own partners, someone you might recognize. Say hello to Gavin Verhey.
Hey Gavin, it's great to finally be back on my show.
All right, well, where did Partner come from? I think it begins at the hackathon, right?
Yeah, exactly. I came up with the Commander Draft idea a long time ago, and one of the problems was how to give people legends and then make sure they could switch out of their colors. For example, one of the first things we tried is that every pack had 4 legends in it at the very front, and you drafted those before you drafted the rest of the pack. The problem there, though, is that you knew when legends were going to show up, and they weren't going very far, which made it very hard to switch. So I had just been tinkering with Commander Draft on its own for a while, but it wasn't until the infamous R&D hackathon that brought us both Jumpstart and Modern Horizons that I pitched it as a full-on product. In one of our first meetings, we wrote down all the mechanics we thought could return on a whiteboard, and one of the big ones there was Partner. And that's when we realized that could solve our problem with switching commanders.
Right, yeah, because if you draft a red-black legend and then you want to switch into red-green, well, you have to count on getting exactly a red-green legend. Where if you draft a red partner, it becomes a lot easier to switch into green. Any green partner will get you there. Plus, the Prismatic Piper always exists. Partner is really the glue that holds the limited format together and was key to being able to make the set. Plus, it just addressed a fan need. People have asked us for monocolored partners forever. There are 8 monocolored partners in each color, plus the weirdo Prismatic Piper at colorless.
Now, Partner is a very powerful mechanic. It lets you have 2 commanders if both of them have Partner. So basically it means you're just up a card from the start of the game. You start with 9 cards in your opening hand, while your opponents start with 8 cards in their opening hand, essentially. We all knew partners were going to be good in Commander 2016, but I think everyone, us and the players, did not expect them to be as good as they actually are. We put a ton of work into the partners using what we learned in the past to make this set even better off for it. And while I can't guarantee there's going to be no busted commanders, there's just so many different partner combinations, it's hard to test them all. Our goal was really to avoid anything like a Thrasios, which is a 1-card super strong engine. Additionally, all the partners here are monocolored, which really helps because it means that you're not just adding 2 more colors to your commander by playing it.
Here's a fun fact for you. Because Commander Legends took so much time to make, Partner was in this set before Partner With even came out in the world. One of my favorite things about Commander Legends is that we get to finally make cards for some characters who've never had them. And the character that captured my imagination all the way back in Mirrodin is Krark. Krark's Thumb was this goofy little card that showed up, and of course you had Krark Clan Ironworks and some things like that. But what's the story of this character? Gavin, fill us in.
Ah yes, Krark. So from Mirrodin, he lived up in the Oxidia Mountains, and he was quite the gambler. In fact, he gambled away both of his thumbs. And Krark wanted one of his thumbs back, so he bet another thumb, who knows where that one was going to come from, that he could walk to the center of Mirrodin and back. And if he did successfully, he would win back Krark's thumb. Kind of a bad bet on all ends, if you think about it. Anyway, weeks later, Krark came back from the center of Mirrodin with a journal he had written in the entire time describing the kind of things that he saw. So, Krark got his thumb back. Happy ending, right? As it turns out, not quite. Some of the things in that journal were actually heresy at the time, so he was executed quickly afterwards. However, his spirit lives on in the Krark clan goblins, which have taken his writing as religion.
And here's the card. He flips coins, of course. He fits not only into your coin flipping deck, hello Zendersplit Oakwand, but one of my favorite ways to play him is in a Spells Matter commander deck. When you have effects that trigger whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it's a win-win. Either you cast it and it gets doubled, or you cast it, get the trigger, and your spell goes back to be cast again. To me, this card is delightfully Krark, and I'm so glad we made it. Commander Legends partners run the story gamut, all the way from characters you've never even heard of, to characters who are really deep story cuts, to characters who are really, really good and you would love to team up with, to characters who you definitely would not want to team up with, who will backstab you. Well, Gavin, I'm really glad I have you on my side, and also that the legend rule doesn't apply to us.
You know what? Thanks for having me on the show, and it's so funny you mentioned that, because I invented this show, and I would really like it back.
What? You're going off script.
No beards allowed, so I'll be taking that, thank you.
What? I'm trapped in the screen. Help, anyone? Get me out of here.
Original Gavin is back, baby. I'll be taking over the show from here on out. I'll talk with you again tomorrow with another Commander Legends preview card. In the meantime, though, may you keep both your thumbs on. You got this.
I should have known Beardless Gavin was up to no good. Hint number 5. There is a commander that basically brings back an old Magic rule. And finally, a visual one.